Sometimes in real estate, and honestly in life, the best thing to do is to just walk away. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty. And y'all, today I want to share a story with you that turned out really good about when my clients, it was just in their best interest for me to advise them to walk away from a deal. But before I do, if you could go ahead and subscribe to the channel, that way every single time I post content, you are here and you won't miss out on stories, especially like the one that I'm going to tell you today. All right, let's hop right into it. So I have been working with this amazing couple, I would say actually for a little bit over a year. They were from a different state, relocating here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And you know that's near and dear to my heart because I too was a transplant, so I always want to help out. So for this particular couple, we decided that they wanted to really understand the lay of the land before they purchased. So we found them a rental, but who wants to rent forever? Nobody, right? And especially with interest rates as good as they have been recently, they reached out to me and said, you know what, Rosemary, we are not renewing this lease. We are getting ready and ready to purchase a home. And they did everything that they were supposed to do, and it was time for us to go shopping. Good, right? Let's talk about what happened. So we get out and we start seeing some homes, start checking out some areas, and we saw a few contenders, but I always tell my clients that you can walk into a house that checks off everything on the box, but generally when you walk into what's going to be your home, it just feels like home and it feels like it's the one. So I showed them a home, and initially, you know, they were like, okay, this is nice, because they didn't think that they would like it. But as we started walking through, we started talking through the numbers, they were like, okay, I'm starting to really dig this house. I really like it. Let's move forward and put in an offer. So it was a new construction home, but it was an inventory home and not a build job. And we've talked about that before. I'll tag a video here somewhere. And basically an inventory home is when the home is still brand new, but it already is built. So you can just go ahead and get in it. So call the salesperson, and this is when things got a little interesting. So call the salesperson. I wasn't negotiating against another real estate agent. I was negotiating against the builder salesperson because they work for the builder. So he and I talked about some terms that were amazing, some different concessions for my client. My clients were so happy about it. You know how the dress looks cute on the rack, but then when you see the price and you see that it's cheaper than what you thought it would be, it's even cuter. This is what happened with this house. They really got excited. So we walked away. The salesperson was gonna go ahead and write everything up, and we were gonna move forward with the deal. And then the salesperson called me back. He called me back and he basically began to change the terms that we agreed upon initially. And his reason was that he misunderstood his sales manager on what would be acceptable. And honestly, what he came back with wasn't horrible, but it wasn't that thing that we were really excited about before. But I laid it out for my clients and said, hey, here's the deal. This is what they said. He made a mistake. This was the mistake. And this is what they're proposing now that they would accept as an offer. And honestly, my clients were good with that, but they wanted to, in real estate, they wanted to see their options before they agreed to go with the builder's lender for incentives. They wanted to see how our lender would compete. And we had some terms. Remember, we have some terms that we've agreed upon, but nothing is in writing at this point. And here's a quick note. Unless it's in writing, all of these verbal agreements are great, but unless it's in writing, we can't hold either side to it. But I digress. So we are working out the numbers, and as we're working out the numbers, my clients look at what was being proposed and what they would save using the builder's lender versus our lender. And we decided, you know what? I went back to the salesperson. My clients decided they feel more comfortable going with their lender just because of the rates and all that stuff. And y'all, guess what? He changed the terms again. And now my clients really have an uneasy feeling, as do I have an uneasy feeling. And now we're also digging into the comps, we're disputing value. It's just a whole lot going on. So I knew that my clients were really excited about this property, and y'all, I had to have a real honest conversation with them and just told them, because they asked me, Rosemary, if you were in my position, what would you do? So I told them, hey, a home is worth what a willing and able buyer is willing to pay for it. However, when I look at the data, when I look at what other homes have sold for, when I look at the incentives that you could get with the builder versus not going with the builder, hey y'all, this is my suggestion. And understand that my suggestion might mean that they will go with another offer, because, oh, here's a shocker. At this point, he tells us that they have another offer on the table. So my clients, I could tell that they really, really liked the house, but underlying, they were very uncomfortable with the way this whole thing was going down. So we decided to walk away from the property, which is always a hard thing to do, right? Sometimes in life and in business and in real estate, the best thing to do, but also the hardest thing to do, is to walk away. But when things aren't lining up, when they're not feeling right, you have to make those decisions. So my clients decided to walk away from the property, and then 2 nights after we walked away from the house, they sent a text like they were having buyer's remorse, because they really thought that they loved their property and were just, you know, just felt a little devastated on how it would work out. And I told them, you know what, y'all, I need you to trust me. I love the home too, but at the end of the day, I don't feel like the company that we were working with, they just kept going back on their word. And did we really want to go through this process? And if I was really looking out for their best interest, it really wasn't a good deal that they were proposing to us. I was nervous, but I had to stick to my guns, because I have to represent the best interest for the client. And lo and behold, the very next day, we went out to a different builder in the same community, and they found a home that they loved 10 times better than that first home. We got so many great incentives. The home is larger. I mean, it just checked off so many more boxes, and the clients are really, really happy. And now they get to build the house from the ground up to their specifications. So why am I telling you this story? It's because sometimes in real estate, you can think that you find the one, and you might be outbid, or you might have moved too slow, or the numbers just don't line up. First of all, a home is worth what you're willing to pay for it, right? But you have to have an agent along the way who is going to guide you, who's going to give you the facts, and then that way you can kind of differentiate your emotions versus what makes absolute best sense for your family. So in this case, I am so excited that my clients really got the home that they love, and we're going to be moving into it really soon. And sometimes you just got to walk away to get exactly what is intended for you and for your family. All right, if you made it to the end of this video and you are not subscribed, what are you really doing with your life? Go ahead and subscribe to the video, hit the bell, that way you are notified every time. And if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, holla at your girl. I would love to work with you and help get you on the path to home ownership. Talk to you later.